Stop it. The bubble has lived up to the hype. When I say it's lived up to the hype, I'm like, what the hell is these games were crazy. They were so good. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if this is not your first time. If this is your first time, this is Raquel with WWME Sports Takes. Please don't forget to like, comment, as well as subscribe and share, of course, if you like the content. I mean, why wouldn't you? Anyways, I'm so sorry. I have not been on here for a minute. I'm back. I have no excuses except for once the NBA playoffs started, unfortunately, I just got caught up in the games and a lot was happening. Things happened so quick that I was not putting content up. I apologize. Now, I am going to add in this video previously the predictions that I have for the first round, and we're going to kind of discuss what's been happening so far. So this is kind of like an update video, what I've been doing, what I've been kind of up to, but it's all basketball related for the most part, except for I'm going to discuss the topic of what happened as far as the sports and boycotting. So let's get on that first and foremost. So as you may know, there was an incident in Kenosha where a black man was shot 7 times in the back by the cops as he was walking into his car. Now, there's so many mixed reports about the incidents, but the man did not have a weapon. Supposedly the man was going for a weapon, but if a man is going for a weapon, there is no need for you to actually shoot him 7 times. So when that happened, and of course, once again, the cops were not arrested, no kind of, anything, nothing, no actions were taken. The NBA took actions themselves, and the Milwaukee Bucks ended up actually boycotting their playoff game, which was huge. It was a game 5 against the Magic. They were up against in the series 3-1, and they did a boycott. They did not show up. They did not show up to play. And after they did that, the entire league followed suit, and everyone boycotted games that day. Then you also had it followed with other sports. You had the WNBA, you had the Major League Baseball, and then you also had soccer boycott. Now, people were like, oh, they only boycotted one day. What's the big deal? Boycotting one day in sports and in marketing and advertising and money-wise, trust me, it affected people's money. It affected the coverage. It affected a lot of things. It was necessary, and I commend all the players, the NBA, the other leagues, everyone who stepped up and decided they were going to boycott, again, for social justice and reform. The NBA players were very clear. They were not just going to be playing and entertaining everybody. They wanted to see actual reform and social. If they continue to see social justice, they were going to take action. So I commend that they actually did do that. So the things that the NBA then implemented is that they started a committee. It's a council that's full of players, coaches, governors, and different different members from teams, organizations that will implement them doing more actions for reform. They also started where they're going to be having voter registration and voting sites, which will be the actual NBA arenas. And then they're also targeting their advertising during these playoffs. They're going to be completely focused on voting registration as well as social justice awareness. So they did take some actions. It wasn't just as simple as, okay, we're just boycotting, we're getting back to it, who cares? I feel like there's people who are judging them like, oh, they should have canceled the whole season. Not necessarily. I feel like the impact is to continue to use your platform in the way to help promote social injustice reform. That's just my take on it. So I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that's how I feel about it. So that was actually very an interesting, intriguing thing. Everyone did it. Kudos to everyone, all the leagues. That was amazing. So now let's get into these playoffs. What's been going on? Playoffs have been completely crazy, completely interesting. People were just complaining, thinking that, oh, the bubble wasn't going to be interesting. There's no crowds and no. Stop it. The bubble has lived up to the hype. When I say it's lived up to the hype, I'm like, what the hell is these games were crazy. They were so good from certain teams, okay? So we're going to talk about what happened in the first round. Now, the Raptors and the Celtics both swept, which weren't very surprising. Sixers had no Ben Simmons, so it was kind of easy series for the actual Celtics to do that. Raptors swept. Raptors have been on a tear even when they started in the bubble. They've been playing very well. They played very well all year. Their coach was actually named the coach of the year. So congratulations to Nick Nurse. But yeah, that was like a sweep series, nothing special. Blazers as well as the the Bucks as well as the Lakers, we both lost our first game in the first playoff round, but then we bounced back and we won 4 in a row. So a gentleman's sweep. And, let's get into that a little bit. I got some stuff to say. So everyone reacts so crazy to me after a team loses. Now, I get it. The Lakers are the number 1 team in the West. The Bucks are the number 1 team in the East. Everyone expects them to win. They're considered the actual team that is the beatable, the team that's supposed to be beat. Except for the Lakers, we kind of get that reputation of being the underdogs. Please explain to me, how do we become number 1 in the West, but we're the underdogs? Haters. But we came back, we bounced back. We ended up beating the Blazers in that series quite handily, quite easily, in blowouts. Now, I do know that the last game and game and a half of the fourth game, Dame did get hurt with a dislocated finger and he went out. And then the last game he left, they were already out the series. They were getting blown out. So the series was, in fact, over. So the funniest part was that Dame ended up dancing on us in the first game. Like, he was dancing. He was having himself a good old time because they won that first game. Kudos to you. But you don't dance until the whole series is over. When the series is over, that's when you should dance, Dame. Because you ended up getting not only beat, but you guys got blown out and kicked out of the playoffs by my Lakers. Don't play with us next time. Don't play with us. Bucks did the same thing to the Magic. They had bounce back games and they ended up winning. Now, I will say that the Bucks have not played up to the same par. They kind of didn't struggle, but they won those next 4 games, but they still didn't play like Bucks basketball. So we're going to keep an eye on that, and we're going to talk about that in my next video. Now, with that being said, the best series to me was the series that I literally thought was going to be the most boring series, which was actually Utah versus the Nuggets. Now, I did say the Nuggets were going to win because the Nuggets was a little bit of a better team, but what a series. Now, Jazz came out and they ended up going up in that series 3-1. So I kind of thought the Jazz were going to come out of it, but lo and behold, we have a new matchup head to head that for years will be so fun to watch, and that was Donovan Mitchell as well as Jamal Murray. Those guys were phenomenal in that series, and it was such a great series. It was so great to see. It was so great to witness. You were talking about 2 players that were going head to head, and I'm talking about they were having 40 to 50 point games, willing their teams to win. And Donovan Mitchell, let me just say this. You have earned my ultimate respect because you basically tried to make your team win. You carried them. You did everything you could possibly do. So please know that as a fan of the game, I so respect your game so much. Jamal Murray, you played your butt off. You did the thing. You ended up winning. You guys did not give up. It's so hard to come back from a 3-1 deficit, but you guys did it. And now the Denver Nuggets are actually in the second round, and it was the best series. I mean, every game for them went almost down to the wire. We had a game 7 where they were actually like down to the wire, and it was like the last few shots determined the game. I couldn't have asked for more as a fan, and it even makes it even better when it's not your team, the one struggling. Because if it was the Lakers in that kind of series, I would have probably died. The anxiety I had even for those teams, and they were not my teams, was too much. But kudos to an amazing series. Then you also have another 7-game series, which was also a great series, which was the OKC versus the Rockets. OKC was counted out. You guys got to remember, there was like a 2.5% chance that OKC was even going to make it into the playoffs. Everybody counted Chris Paul out. Everybody did not give him any type of credit. People were just like, oh, he's going to definitely go to OKC. They're not making the playoffs. They're going to suck, blah, blah, blah. Chris Paul said, excuse me? Do y'all not know I am Chris Paul CP3? Dude balled all year, and even in the bubble, I mean, he willed his team as best as he could. Unfortunately, OKC came up short. The thing was about that was they had a game 7 against the Rockets, and it was such an electrifying game. It was literally down to the wire, and basically OKC beat themselves with a lot of missed opportunities near the end of the game. That kind of sucked, but overall, I'm giving OKC credit because everyone kind of counted them out in a sense, and then it was like they still played really, really good. People only had given them the edge because they thought that Russell Westbrook was going to be out, and myself included. But Russell Westbrook ended up coming back, and Russell Westbrook almost cost them the game. Then he kind of made it up for the next game, but whatever. Anyways, the Rockets escaped. I wanted the Rockets to lose because I really think that James Harden is cocky and Westbrook is kind of cocky as well. For y'all to not be as good as y'all are, y'all just save the cockiness. Because I'll get in that. So that was like really great first round series because I think as fans, we loved like the longer series. We loved like the grueling series. We liked the close games. We liked the close matchups. I definitely did. I enjoyed it. I was like, let's go. It's like I said, it's even easier because my Lakers ended up, killing the Blazers. So we ain't had no problems. I ain't want no problems. I just wanted us to get to that next round. And that's what my next video will be about. But leave me your comments. Were you guys like blown away by the whole competition between Jamal Murray as well as Donovan Mitchell? Sorry. Who's Devin? I thought they had like, man, for the younger players in this league, it is so great to see them play. One of my favorites, of course, is Jason Tatum. I also really have to give kudos. Oh my gosh, I almost completely forgot. Luca? What Luca was doing in these first rounds of playoffs solidified him as a definitely. He's so hyped, I thought, for a while. But no, dude earns his hype. Dude is amazing. The dude played as incredible as he could with the Clippers. The Clippers actually would have lost that series, I think, if KP did not go down. But once Porzingis went down, it was kind of a little bit hard to like fight them. And then it was Luca was also fighting with an ankle injury. But when I say he did not let that ankle injury affect him and he still tried to play his best ball, nothing but respect, nothing but kudos. Great playoff debut by Luca. And for years to come, the league is in such good hands. Like, these younger players are just going to blow us away. Same thing with Tatum. Jason Tatum averaged like over 30 points plus in that series for Boston, and he just played incredible. Like, his numbers were incredible. He was efficient. He's a superstar. Now, for me, Jason Tatum is ultimately the best young player, even over Luca. I don't care what anyone says. I said what I said, and I meant it. So deal with it. And that's because I feel like people don't realize that he has playoff experience. He has like a gut where he can take over. Mind you, he has become the best player on the Celtics with other all-star players, with other players that's been in the league longer. Tatum has really taken on that role to be like, yo, this is my team. I got this. Tatum, I still want you to be a Laker, but I still appreciate everything you've done because you make basketball fun again. You remind me so much of Kobe. You remind me of his drive, his fearlessness. And now to witness you as a Celtics is so hard. So come to the Lakers, but still the league is in such good hands. All these younger players are going to be amazing, come the future. With that being said, we're going to get into the second round. I'm going to give you guys my predictions. The second round has already started. It's only like 2 games in, so y'all going to deal with it. Anyways, please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, as well as share if you like this content. Leave me some feedback. I could really use it. Anyways, I'm back. We're back. Let's go. NBA playoffs. See ya. Peace.